talking about is my child.
Do I know where you live?
Well, of course you don't come. So
Exactly.
my thing, I know where you live because I put down your down payment.
Beautiful.
And you've been stealing from me for the past couple years on my credit.
Toni Braxton has been losing it ever since she found out that Tamar was allegedly getting too close with her man. And not just rumors close, but crossing the line close.
But what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't? You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them a few times.
Who? What man?
You not get to leave.
Oh, bitch. Dirty, low-down ass bitch.
Oh, you're such a liar. Such a liar.
Man, he said he Tawanda.
You know that's a lie.
I swear to
You know
God.
that's a lie. Which daughter are you trying
to? Your man for? You think I too? Don't you?
This whole situation has turned into pure chaos, and fans are saying this might be the moment that finally rips the Braxton family apart for good. Toni's reportedly furious, claiming she'll never forgive Tamar for this one, and honestly, who could blame her? It's one thing to deal with random women acting wild around your man, but your own sister? That's betrayal on a whole other level, and some wounds just don't heal. People who've been around the Braxtons say the tension in that family dinner was thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone was whispering, and Tawanda, always the one who accidentally spills the tea, dropped the mother of all bombs right in front of everyone. Toni's face froze, Tamar went silent, and you could practically feel the air leave the room. Now fans are wondering if this is really the end of the Braxton sisterhood, or if the sisters are once again pulling a setup.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Framing Tamar as the family scapegoat like they've done before. Either way, this drama's exploding, and nobody's walking away clean this time. Dinner was supposed to be calm, but with the Braxtons, that never happens. Within minutes, voices were raised and Tamar snapped, throwing shade right at Tawanda. She reminded her that the only reason Tawanda even has a house is because she was the one who put down the payment. Don't forget who made that happen, Tamar allegedly shouted, and the table went silent. But she didn't stop there. She hit her sister with another bomb, accusing Tawanda of secretly using her credit card for years without permission.
Right.
Hey,
You killed it, man.
babe, I was trying to go crazy. I wanted to call
No,
him.
Tony, the nigga was the #1 trending topic. I tried to tell him I showed him.
Now, according to the bankruptcy papers floating around, Tawanda is drowning in debt. We're talking $500,000 deep. The same paperwork shows Tamar had lent her around $35,000 for that home down payment, which makes the whole situation even messier. Tamar straight up called Tawanda a thief, and honestly, fans say she might not be lying. People still remember when Tawanda made headlines for allegedly stealing their mom's Social Security checks, and even Toni has accused her of taking money behind her back. Tawanda clearly doesn't mind helping herself to other people's stuff, so when Tamar threw shade saying the T in her name stands for thief, it sent everyone over the edge. But here's where things flipped fast. Tawanda didn't even let Tamar finish before she came for blood. She clapped back and started dragging out Tamar's own dirty secrets for everyone to hear.
So I'm 16, I'm at my aunt's house, and when I leave, I'm there for the summer, her partner decides, her husband at the time decides to start sexting me. So sexting in a sexual manner, okay? There was nothing physical that happened, absolutely nothing physical.
What came out of her mouth had Tamar spiraling, and it only got uglier from there. Tawanda didn't hold back. She hit Tamar with the lowest blow imaginable. In front of everyone, she accused Tamar of being a thief too, claiming she stole Toni's man. The name of the guy was censored out in the footage for legal reasons, but fans say you could feel the tension explode through the screen.
As the years have evolved, that has turned into, it's your fault. It's turned into, you were old enough to know right from wrong. And it's turned into something physical happened and you did it. And for me, that's mind-boggling to me, because if there was something that was physical that happened, and I'm 16 years old, this makes this person a, right, you know the word, and I can't.
Whatever Tawanda said, it struck deep, because Tamar's reaction was instant. Her face dropped, her eyes went wide, and then she snapped. The next few seconds were pure chaos. Tamar started screaming, knocking over drinks, and swearing up and down that Tawanda was lying through her teeth. The table turned into a war zone, and everyone was frozen, trying to figure out if Tawanda had just exposed the biggest Braxton family scandal ever. But in the middle of all that madness, Toni's reaction said everything. She didn't yell, she didn't move. She just sat there, completely stunned. You could see the heartbreak written all over her face after all those years of having Tamar's back, of defending her when everyone else turned away. This was the ultimate betrayal. And to make things worse, Toni realized Tawanda had been sitting on that secret for years, just waiting for the perfect moment to drop it. The real twist, the other sisters apparently knew too. And none of them warned Toni. That realization broke her completely. At that dinner table, you could tell. The trust was gone. The bond was shattered. And Toni looked like she'd just lost her entire family in one night. The moment that clip hit the internet, it exploded. Within minutes, it was everywhere. TikTok, X, Instagram, you name it. People couldn't believe what they were hearing, and it instantly became the Braxtons' biggest scandal yet. Just when everyone thought this family couldn't possibly get messier, they went and outdid themselves again. The drama was hotter than ever, and the internet detectives went straight to work trying to uncover who the mystery man was that Tamar allegedly stole from Toni. Now, that bleeped out name during the episode, yeah, that only made things worse. Fans were way too nosy to let that slide, and it didn't take long before people started connecting the dots, and all arrows pointed straight at Birdman. Within hours, Birdman's name was trending, and the theories were wild. Apparently, Birdman and his Cash Money crew had just done a versus battle against No Limit, and Toni couldn't make it to support her man that night. But guess who did show up? Tamar, and she was doing the absolute most. According to clips fans posted, Tamar was running around backstage acting like Birdman's first lady, laughing, flirting, and even wiping sweat off his forehead like she was his woman. The crowd noticed, the cameras noticed, and fans online, they lost it. If you didn't know the backstory, you'd definitely think they were a couple by the way she was acting. The internet started calling her out left and right, accusing her of crossing the line, but Tamar fired back immediately, trying to clear the air. She said she was only there to hold it down for her sister Toni, saying, "'Cause she couldn't be here and she loves her husband, so I'ma hold it down for her and my brother." To make things even more confusing, Tamar later posted a video of her and Birdman on a video call with Toni, smiling, laughing, like everything was totally normal. But by then, fans weren't buying it anymore. They'd already made up their minds, and the scandal was out of control. That little video call Tamar posted didn't help her case one bit. If anything, it made people even more suspicious. But just as the Birdman drama started cooling down, a new bomb dropped that flipped everything upside down again. Turns out, Birdman might not have even been the man Tawanda was talking about at that chaotic dinner. Sources started whispering that the real name bleeped out wasn't Birdman at all. It was Carrie Lewis, Toni Braxton's ex-husband. And when that detail leaked, fans went crazy. What's even messier is that this rumor didn't come out of nowhere. People had been side-eyeing Tamar over Carrie for years. As far back as 2011, blogs were already spilling tea about Tamar supposedly having an affair with Carrie to get a boost in her music career. One blogger back then even claimed Tamar was doing whatever it takes to reach fame and fortune, and that included getting close to her sister's man. But the wildest part? That same blog claimed it wasn't just Tamar playing games. It said Toni had also allegedly been involved with Vince, the man Tamar later married, before handing him off to her sister. Fans have always brushed that off as gossip, but when you look at the timeline, it's a little too convenient, right? And this isn't Tamar's first time being accused of crossing boundaries. Remember the scandal with Michael Malden, Jermaine Dupri's father? Yeah, fans still talk about that. Word was, Tamar got close to him because of his strong Hollywood connections, and that rumor alone had people dragging her online for months. So now, when folks hear that she might have gone after Carrie Lewis, they're not even shocked anymore, just disappointed. People say Tamar's always been bold, but doing something like that to her own sister, that's a whole new level of messy. And honestly, if the rumors are true, this might explain why Toni's trust in her family has been completely shattered. Tamar's always been unpredictable. She does things just because she feels like it, no filter, no warning. And honestly, if you've been following the Braxton sisters over the years, you know their family dynamic is straight up chaotic. They act more like frenemies than blood. The tension, the shade, the secrets, it's all boiling over. There's so much bad blood between them it could sink the Titanic. Fans have even started asking if they genuinely like each other anymore, or if it's all just for the cameras. After the latest scandal blew up, the internet went wild, dragging Tamar through the dirt. People were calling her every name under the sun, saying, "Tamar, You've always been shady, and the audacity of doing this to your oldest sister. Some even said she had to be jealous of Toni's success. The comments were ruthless. It was like the whole internet turned against her overnight. But not everyone bought into the story. A bunch of fans came to Tamar's defense, swearing she'd never crossed that kind of line, especially with family. They said the whole situation smelled like a setup, that the sisters purposely dropped that bomb on Tamar to gaslight her and make her look like the villain again. One fan wrote, "I don't believe Tamar slept with Toni's man. I believe Tawanda said that because she was embarrassed that Tamar exposed her." And honestly, that theory started to make a lot of sense. See, Tamar might be dramatic, but she's also the only one who's ever spoken real truth about what goes on behind the scenes. She's blunt, she's emotional, and that scares the rest of them. The sisters don't like how open she is about their private business, especially the darker parts of their past. Remember when Tamar revealed that she'd been hurt by people from both sides of her family when she was younger? That confession shook everyone, and it made the family furious. So maybe this latest betrayal scandal isn't just about jealousy or revenge. Maybe it's about shutting Tamar down once and for all. Yeah, that confession did not sit well with the rest of the Braxton family. Instead of showing support, they turned on Tamar, accusing her of doing too much and airing out family business that should have stayed private. They blamed her for tearing the family apart like she was the reason all their skeletons were coming out. But the truth is, Tamar wasn't even allowed to speak about what happened to her for years. She was silenced as a child, and when she finally found the courage to speak up as an adult, they treated her like she'd committed the worst sin imaginable. But then things took an even darker turn when Toni and Tamar's niece, Ashley Braxton, came forward with her own heartbreaking story. Ashley revealed that her father, Michael Braxton Sr., had been physically violent with her when she was growing up, and it didn't stop there. Their stepmother, who was supposed to protect them, allegedly wasn't any better. Those girls went through years of physical, verbal, and emotional pain that nobody outside the family ever knew about. Sadly, the trauma didn't end quietly. Ashley's sister, Lolo, later lost her life to an overdose, a tragedy that ripped through the family but was never truly addressed. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, Ashley dropped another bombshell. She revealed that her aunt, Toni Braxton, completely cut her off after discovering that Trina's husband had been sending Ashley inappropriate messages. And here's the most disturbing part. Ashley was only 16 years old at the time. Instead of comforting her or standing by her side, the family allegedly chose to protect the man, not the child. It was shocking, heartbreaking, and it left fans furious, wondering how much pain had been buried under the Braxton name all these years. But none of that mattered to Trina. She acted like Ashley was just making noise for attention. Instead of showing empathy, Trina accused her niece of stirring the pot for clout, completely dismissing the trauma Ashley went through. Even now, Trina still defends her ex-husband, Gabe, warning Ashley to stop talking about him since he's not here to defend himself. It's shocking, especially considering the seriousness of what Ashley said happened when she was just a teenager. And Trina wasn't the only one turning her back. Ashley later revealed that even Tawanda cut her off for speaking up about the abuse she experienced. That detail is huge because it sheds light on why Tawanda has such a long-standing grudge against Tamar. While most of the family was busy protecting their image and silencing Ashley, Tamar was the only one who refused to play that game. Tamar had lived through her own silence and wasn't about to let the same thing happen to Ashley. When she learned the truth, she was furious that the rest of the family had hidden the situation from her because they knew she wouldn't keep quiet. They knew Tamar would speak up no matter whose feelings got hurt, and that terrified them. So when she finally found out, Tamar didn't stay silent. She went all in. She invited Ashley onto her podcast to finally tell her side of the story in her own words. That move shook the Braxton family to its core. The rest of the sisters were livid, calling Tamar disloyal for airing family secrets in public. But fans saw it differently. To them, Tamar wasn't stirring drama. She was breaking a cycle of silence that had gone on for way too long. After that podcast episode dropped, all hell broke loose in the Braxton family. The moment Ashley's voice went public, the sisters lost it. Group chats blew up, calls were made, and suddenly Tamar was being treated like the ultimate traitor. Trina reportedly called her disrespectful. Tawanda accused her of chasing clout, and even Toni, usually the calm one, kept her distance for weeks. The family tried to downplay the story, saying Ashley was misguided, and Tamar should have known better than to drag family business online. But at that point, the damage was already done. Social media exploded with people taking sides. Some fans praised Tamar for standing up for Ashley, saying, "Finally, someone in that family is telling the truth." Others, though, accused her of doing it for attention, calling it another Tamar tantrum. But what nobody could deny was that the podcast hit a nerve. It exposed cracks in the Braxton image that could no longer be hidden. Behind the scenes, things got even messier. Tawanda allegedly stopped all contact with Tamar, and insiders claim that family group projects, including Braxton Family Values spin-off talks, were immediately put on ice. Even Ashley started getting hate messages from people calling her a liar and ungrateful, which many fans believe came from fake accounts linked to the Braxtons' inner circle. Through it all, Tamar refused to back down. She went live on Instagram saying she had nothing to apologize for, explaining that she wasn't trying to ruin her family. She was trying to protect it by finally addressing the truth. "I'm not the villain," she said. "I'm just tired of being silent when people are getting hurt." That statement set the internet on fire. It trended for 2 days straight. And while some of her sisters kept pretending everything was fine in interviews, fans could see the tension brewing behind every fake smile. At this point, it's not just sister drama anymore. It's generational pain, buried secrets, and public betrayal colliding in real time. The Braxton family name might never recover from this fallout. And Tamar? She's standing in the middle of it all, refusing to back down. The Braxtons didn't just dislike that podcast, they hated it. Things got so ugly that the family actually sent Tamar and Ashley a cease and desist letter, demanding they stop talking about everything immediately. But here's the messed up part. Tamar didn't even hear about it through her sisters. Nope, she found out when a stranger served her the papers. Imagine that, being legally silenced by your own family and not even getting a warning first. That betrayal hit hard, and it showed just how deep the cracks in the Braxton bond really go. At this point, the pattern is crystal clear. Every time Tamar tries to speak her truth, her own family tries to shut her down. They humiliate her, silence her, and then paint her as the problem. And fans are finally starting to notice. People online are torn. Some believe Tamar might have crossed the line with Tony's man, but others are convinced this whole situation is just payback for her daring to expose what really happens behind the Braxton brand. So what do you think? Did Tamar actually betray her sister, or is she the one being betrayed for finally speaking up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story's far from over. And if you love digging into the truth behind the headlines, don't forget to subscribe to Juicy Reel for even more wild celebrity drama coming your way.